24, 2018, Christmas Eve. Let's start, really just, let's summarize again and hit on a couple people involved with this. Walker, the former governor, Bill Walker. Let's talk about Kevin Clarkson. Let's talk about Robert Henderson. And let's talk about Judge Henderson.
All right, well, to start off, really, what's heavy duty is what's happened. And so I've uncovered a massive amount of embezzlement, insurance frauds, and a lot of criminal activity, banks doing criminal things, forged signatures, fake mortgage loans being hid, bank accounts being hid, bankers taking my name off titles of my property and my assets. So it's not what's happened, it's how people have reacted. It's the next one. And so I ended up uncovering all of this, and the first thing that happened was I had a judge by the name of Judge Shaley basically even setting me up before I really found out about half of this stuff. And he basically served a DV on me, a domestic violence, when I was 4,000 miles away, with no history at the home of anything. Nobody's ever reported anything. You know, if they had a concern, they could have sent someone to my home and checked on things. As far as I know, you can't really advise somebody or serve somebody unless somebody in the professional world's gone over to check on things and found out something wasn't right in the home. This guy served me a domestic violence charge with saying I would hurt my kids, burn my house down, hurt or kill my kids, burn my house down, and destroy my finances of my career. Then,
I mean, you were where? You were in Colorado at the time?
I was in Colorado on a 2-week promotional tour. I had a presentation every night at a ski shop presenting avalanche education called Steep Life Protocols. It's won 2 awards as Educator of the Year.
And you're on the internet, I believe, on some of those videos, probably showing what you were doing and where your whereabouts were, but we can, verify that. But there's clearly there was no imminent threat that, at the time to establish something that Judge Shaley threw at you.
Yeah, so he throws this at me. I'm in Colorado. I never was told. I was never served. I come into Alaska. I'm on my way home. And my wife, she's now realizing her only way out is perpetrating a divorce and trying to throw me under the bus that her husband's mentally ill, and anything else she can do, like violence or whatever. I'm halfway home from a 5-hour drive into Alaska from Anchorage, driving to Valdez, and my wife texts me and says, "You can't come home, you can't see the kids, and you can't go to the school." I'm like, "What have you done?" She didn't respond, so she's basically pretending she's in Valdez, Alaska, but she's already taken off to Chicago. We've already found proof that she was actually going to different parts of the country and sent my kids ahead to Paul and Kathy Moore's house so she could go and destroy and close bank accounts and go try to fix some of her embezzlements and frauds. So I come home, halfway home, and I get called up by my sister, and my sister has a husband by the name of Jim Whitley in Durango, Colorado. We've now realized he's a corrupt attorney. He's like, "Dean, call Dan Allen." I'm like, "Who's Dan Allen?" He's supposed to be a good family law attorney in Anchorage. I called Dan Allen. It was like he was ready for me. "Go check your bank accounts, Mr. Cummings." I drive to the bank in Glen Ellen, Alaska. I meet with Teresa Neff. We've now found that she's a fraudulent banker and was involved with some mortgages and lying about mortgages and such. I find that my name's taken off our biggest account. I've realized that my name's taken off of all of our titles on our property. I called Jim and asked him what I should do. Jim Whitley, married to my oldest sister. and he tells me, go back to Anchorage and go meet with Dan Allen. I meet with Dan Allen, and he advises me to hire Evan Barrickman. Evan Barrickman is Jake Stacer, the city DA's best friend, of Brenna Bell and Clarkson, who's made into my lawsuit with Black Ops. And the ball just starts rolling from there. I get advised to meet up with Alaska Investigations Group by my attorney, Jeff Perouse. They basically try to murder me on the way to Valdez. They give me a business card called Two Top Investigations. The company doesn't even exist. The guy's name, he said his name was Jeff Taylor. I actually caught him in my home in Valdez the following day after I did hire him for helping me with bank records and to do some PI work for me, because my wife had taken 14,000 client files, and there was a bunch of credit cards that got closed and everything else. We catch him in my house. We call the police, and Chad Clemens comes over and doesn't even arrest him or even cite him or even search him. So the ball just unwinds. I start realizing what I've done. I've opened up a can of worms, and basically it's Bill Walker and Richards. They had the law firm that ran the city of Valdez. They represented Valdez and North Pole. These are important towns because Valdez literally gets $50 million from the realty tax of all the steel sitting over there at the oil pipeline at the terminus. And North Pole gets a huge amount too. I mean, our town is 3,800 people, $50 million a year just from the oil tax revenue of the realty. So I uncover it. I uncover his embezzlement for 30 years. I uncover the embezzlement of the small boat harbor. He's literally forcing me to build a road above compliance, sandbagging me, and sabotaging my project, assisting Black Ops to build a lodge on my back and a heli-ski business. And I serve a lawsuit that brings him in. I don't realize it's this dirty, but then I open up Brenna Bell and Clarkson. Brenna Bell and Clarkson's the law firm that bought Bill Walker's firm when he became governor. They then were all members of a group called the Valdez Port Group. They have just recently changed it and destroyed as many files as they can. They now call them the Valdez Port
Valdez Group now, right? It was
the
Port Valdez Company.
Port Valdez Company, and then they changed the name to Port Valdez Group. They've tried their best to remove some of the partners and some of the board members, but you can still find quite a bit of it on the internet. We're able to actually prove a lot of this. So I've got this massive amount of people, this huge group of very wealthy people who've had a monopoly and basically running a mafia in Valdez, Alaska for the last 100 years. I got Brenna Bell and Clarkson, the largest oil and gas law firm in the state of Alaska that represents the two richest towns in Alaska, probably more. And they represent the phone company, the local phone company in Valdez. So all of a sudden, I'm starting to go, what's going on here? I meet up with a guy named Tony Guerrero of Brenna Bell and Clarkson. He's an attorney. He's actually a Port Authority legal advisor.